Yo, 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 what a guan, Batty man. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in live and large. We're hitting the weekend. I am working tomorrow, but it's a little shift, so I'm going to allow myself to feel a little emotional, okay? I don't want to work, to be honest, but here we are. I can't complain, can I? The Death of Innocence is track number 1 of the album Leave Scars by Dark Angel. If you hear background noise, I got the kettle on, people. And this is why. Story of my life, right? So, this is devoted to my man Nick, who recommended, Brett, you got to listen to Leave Scars by Dark Angel. Yesterday, I flew through the album that came prior to this. I've already forgotten the name of it, to be honest with you. What was the name of the record that came prior? Darkness Descends. And I thought it was very good. I thought it was a very good record. 7 tracks on that record. Looks like we've varied the writing a little more so on this one. So, Leave Scars, we've got some songs which are relatively short comparison to what we had in Darkness Descends. And we've got some which are relatively long. So we've got quite a fluctuation of material on this. We have an instrumental, which is a bit meh to me. I don't like the idea of having an instrumental on the record. To be honest, I really don't. But, you know, it is what it is. It's an interesting one because I listen to the instrumental more than the vocal line, generally speaking, because I'm a guitarist. But I would take vocals on a track rather than not. Alright. This was the Death of Innocence. It's track number 1. Let's jump in. Let me just sort the volume out and we'll go from there, okay? Hope everybody is blessed. Without further ado, let's go. Straight to it. Come on. Get back! Come on! Let me tell you, I think the album artwork's the coolest so far out of all of the Dark Angel artwork. I love the colourway. The production value is better, I can tell you that. Great production. My greatest little degradation, torment, tears, decadence, fully in my life. But it's not pretty lost victim of my own lost my gas fire with the reason. My sin against the city games, babies just standing with thoughts on a fun a bit of seizure. I read something out of time, no opportunity, I stand for the death of the sound. You back shit instead of bad, punch your little brick. These dudes are shredding. Even the vocal line is going insane right now. Bro, we're only 1 minute 10 seconds in. It feels like we've heard about 5 minutes worth of music right about now. I like the kick sound in this more so than what we had on Darkness Descends. It was a bit more punchy, a bit more prominent on Darkness Descends. Here we've got a little more bass to it, you know. Sound very organic like it. Dark Angel are very good. I like Dark Angel because Dark Angel play very fast. It's nice. I don't mind thrash metal of all sorts and colours and backgrounds and influences, but I'm a very big fan of thrash. This band is so consistently fast that arguably I could call it an extreme metal band. Contrary to popular belief, people will say, no, you can't do that. I could call this band an extreme metal band purely due to the speed as to which this band just exists within this space, this energy, this output. I love it. This is what I like, people. We got Never to Rise Again coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. Never to Rise Again is the title of this one. We're listening to Dark Angel. The record is Leave Scars. Let's go. Good songwriting. I knew that chorus was coming in right there. Good placement. To rise again. could really zone into how that kick drum was mixed there. I referenced it on the first track. I did like the kick drum sound in comparison to the last record. I liked both of the kick drum sounds. I felt like the kick was very prominent on Darkness Descends and almost stole the show. Like the drum production really almost stole the show, to be honest with you, because sometimes it's hard to make out the riff due to how well the drum kit was produced, how bold the drum kit was produced. But I was Never to Rise Again. We're 2 for 2 as far as good songs are concerned. This wasn't as good as The Death of Innocence. It wasn't as good as track number 1, but it was still a good tune. And it wasn't as good because it wasn't as blazing. It wasn't as aggressive. Although they had a chorus in this one, so I guess they sort of fell back on a bit of songwriting mojo as opposed to it, you know, just being thrash for thrash's sake. But I think this band does the speed very well. I think that's the band's forte, and as long as they stick within that space, they can't do any wrong for me. At least that's what I understand so far. We've got No One Answers, a long one coming up next. Let's keep going, people. I'll see you there. All right. Yes. Now, bless. Now, don't forget the rest. Now, it's Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Track number 3 of Dark Angels Leave Scars record. It's devoted to my man, Nicky P, the man, the legend. Thank you for recommending this record. I've been enjoying it so far. I've been enjoying it more than Darkness Descends, and Darkness Descends was a great record, but I really like the production value on this. I think the colorway and the image you see on the album artworks influences your perception of the music ever so much. So I don't know if I'm just enjoying the music more so or perceiving it through a different lens, because I really like the vivid colors on the album artwork. But with that being said, we got an epic coming up at 7 minutes 47. No One Answers is the title of this one. Let's bloody go. Come on. Where are the metalheads at? Bruh, there's 2 instrumentals on this record. That's too much. That's too much. That is way too much. For someone who doesn't care for instrumentals, that's too much. Got a little cheeky breakdown. On the last one in the credits, it said released in 1998 for Darkness Descends. I disagreed. I said, no way could this have been put out in 98. No flipping way. So let's see what they say on this one. 1989. Now that makes more sense. 1989 this was released. We've got Gene Hoglan. Alright. That's a name I have heard. Gene Hoglan. Composer and lyricist. Who the hell is Gene Hoglan? Did he go... Gene Hoglan. What other bands was he in? I'm not going to search. I'm going to let you tell me. What other bands was Gene Hoglan in? Gene Hoglan. That name rings a bell. I know he was in more than Dark Angel. I know... But a little. Here, people, I asked some girl out, yeah? I mean, I only met her briefly, and I sort of pursued it, to be honest with you. I was just like, yo, what's your Insta and this and that. I chatted to her a little bit, made a bit of small talk. Within a few days in, I was just like, yes. Come grab something with me. Come hang out. Bruh. She gave me the whole boyfriend spiel. I ain't seen one trace of a boyfriend on her profile whatsoever. What's she on about? What's going on? What a go on, people, you know? Times are rad. You gotta shoot your shot when you can. She stonewalled me. She flatlined me, people. Come on. Excuse me whilst I cry. Come on. Did it. I think the vocals are better produced as well on this than what they are on Darkness Descends. There's a little more of an old school approach to the vocal style, at least the way it was produced on the last record. And I'm not a very traditional head when it comes to metal. Instrumentally, arguably, I could be, but as far as like the vocal style, I like a little more grit. I like a bit more of a modern production and a bit more extremity behind it, you know. And we're sort of entering that phase here on this record, you know. I've seen that they've done a record as well entitled Time Does Not Heal. I don't think it's that album title to like a complete 100%, but we got a band over here, bro. If you're into your music, you gotta check this band out. These are UK legends. UK legends, yeah. Band called Knuckle Dust. UK hardcore band, right? Tough guy hardcore band. Hard sound to him. Arguably a beatdown band, arguably, because like a lot of heavy mosh sections, but it's just like it's a good band. 90s onwards, right? Well, I'd say the two bands, right? I digress, but we're talking music, right? I have to reference one with the other, yeah. Knuckle Dust, yeah. UK legends. That's down south, yeah? That's not where I'm from. So when I say that, I gotta say, we got one up here. Voorhees. Alright, UK legends. The north. Alright, the north and the south. Knuckle Dust down south. Voorhees up here. In this day and age, maybe not really garnered the reception they deserve, but they should be acknowledged as legends, right? They still perform from time to time. Knuckle Dust a little more so, from what I'm aware, but Voorhees is on my doorstep, man. If you like hardcore punk, if you like fast, aggressive music, which you should do, if you like Dark Angel, check out Voorhees. If you like your heavy-hitting riffage and your mosh music, you gotta check out Knuckle Dust. If you like Ignorance, you gotta check out Knuckle Dust, yeah?
What I do to you is unhuman and impossible. Now introduced you to your future way. No one answers to the cries of the middle of the dream. No one answers to the cries of the living on the screen. No one answers to the impossible woman in the wheel. No one answers, so shut up, stop your feet.
Where Dark Angel from? New York? New York, man? From the Bay? Where they from? Hard. Bro, they're even heavier than Slayer with this bit. They got a really heavy sound to them here. It's that kick. The heft of that kick drum. Da-da. Shred Central. They weren't messing about with that lead guitar at the end there, was it? No messing about. Couple of breaky Ds in there, couple of breakdowns. Couple of thrashing metal mad sections. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. This next track is going to make or break the record. We got a long instrumental coming up. And I wonder what they're going to do with this. I've also seen Immigrant Song as well. So... what is that going to be a little Led Zeppelin shindig? If so, this record might give me a lot of space to talk, to say the least, from here on in. Let's keep on moving. We've got track number 4 coming up. Yes, no, bless now. Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Cauterization, if that's how I pronounce it, is the title of this track. Track 4 of 9 on Leave Scars. This listen through is devoted to my friend Nick. Thank you very much for the recommendation, Nick. I've had a couple of days of thrash metal through this recommendation. This is an instrumental, so this is going to be interesting. Because it's going to have to be a bloody good one in order to capture my attention and have me believe that it was worthy on the record. We got 2 instrumentals and the next one's Immigrant Song, so I've enjoyed this record up until now. This could make or break the record, I'm going to be real with you. Let's keep going. And let me just tell you, I want this to be something a little different. I don't want to hear a load of riffs put together which a vocal could have just been put over. I don't want to hear a song like they've already put together, but without the vocals. That's not an instrumental. I need some sort of creative freedom that we've not seen in the others. Hardcore. Very heavy. Crushing the guitar tone on this when it comes to the low end chugs is a great bridge between the old school sort of gritty tight crunchy sound and the more modernized, just drenched in distortion sort of modern metal, man. But that kick drum really gives it that incredible low end, man. That kick has got such a boom to it. Bruh. Oh, it's from a different record. I seen a song called Psychosexuality. I was like, bloody hell, we listening to a Slipknot or something. What's all that about? Cool pan in there. I like that panning. Mosh! That was Cauterization. It was alright. It was alright. It was nice to pay attention to a couple of riffs. I think this band sort of serves a good transition from the old school to the modern. This record serves a good transition between the old school and the modern because there's a heaviness. There's a moshability. But it's not hardcore. It's not like a New York hardcore band, and I know they're probably not from New York, but I say, you know, I associate the late 80s, like the late 80s, with New York hardcore as far as like thrash metal and what could be considered crossover, you know, because thrash metal is punk rock at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You can get a heavy metal based thrash band, but generally speaking, there's heaps of punk rock when it comes to it, and any American band around this time, I'm sure, definitely notified of the New York hardcore set, because there's a lot of metal going on there, a lot of crossover metal. So this band doesn't necessarily come across as anything to do with a hardcore adjacent band, but we've got some very modern sounds in here. I think mostly it comes down to the guitar tone, you know. If it was just like some sort of dry, just gritty sound, traditional sound, then I'd disagree. But I think we've sort of moved away from the traditional production, the traditional guitar tones, and I like it a lot more. I like it a lot more. As far as it being an instrumental, you know, I can keep it in the track. Would I want it at track number 3? Not necessarily. They could do a Metallica thing and throw it as track number 6 or 7 or wherever Metallica placed it. You know, I felt that was an half-decent position, but it was alright. It was alright. We got Immigrant Song coming up next, alright? I'll see you there. Yes, now bless, now people. Don't forget the rest. Now, Des Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Immigrant Song. Only at 1 minute 45. I'll see if we've got some discussion to have on this one. If not, we'll run it into the next track. But, you know, there's only one Immigrant Song, isn't there, really? So I assume it's just a cover. But I've heard so many bands do covers of this one, man. So many bands. Let's jump in.
Fight the horde, scream and rage.
Sound like Hetfield then. Yeah, that was really bad. That was really bad. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just left that off. They should have just had no one answers, cauterization, and then flow it into Older Than Time itself. They shouldn't have done that. The stop and start stutter felt awkward, like instrumentally first and foremost, like literally instrumentally. Idea-wise, like I said, I've heard it about 20,000 times. You cannot cover Led Zeppelin. You just cannot cover Led Zeppelin. You will never do a good job of it. The shoes are too big to fill. The shoes are too big to fill. You're never going to do it justice. Especially Immigrant Song. Can you go close to the original? And I'm not saying that you have to, because it's showing homage. And of course, you can't be Led Zeppelin. It's like, that should be common sense. But that should have been left off. That deteriorates the quality of the record, in my personal opinion, because it adds a novelty element to things. Because that's what it is. I would have rather you went into the studio and recorded 2 minutes worth of original music. Me personally, I know a lot of people like covers and this and that. Me personally, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. We've got Older Than Time itself coming up next, alright? There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Dark Angel is whom we are listening to. This one's entitled Leave Scars. Let's jump straight in. Come on. Goes out to Nick. Thank you, Nick. Hard.
Suffocation is just reward. Turning. So you're acting in the evidence. Please know you're so down. He's a victim of his own greed. His behavior's sincere. Never get down the most guilt-free. In here, man, the kind of place you want for name until you're on suicide with the grave. There's no woman alive, there's no idiots to survive generations screams have it all. Who wanna last survive things out to the door and bring you down, bring you up to fall. Labor! Rack some money, you're never gonna learn to play. Pacification is just reward. Turning! So they're lacking in the evidence, please know you're so down. She's a victim, her own greed. It's never ending. Man in these places firm. The men and men now mass life folks have been what you must return. Understand saying that this is a creepy man fashion. Multitudes of their lazy. But listen, it's possible to serve with no mankind. So it's trusted like a bird. Threats of money, I'm never gonna learn to play. Reciprocation, a just reward. Turning. So lacking in the evidence, we know you're so down. They're victims of their own greed. Give it to me, no promising any opportunity. Give it to me, take advantage of each other's generosity. Give it to me, self-initiation driven to an destiny. Give it to me, we'll take it, put a stop on scrutiny. Take everything with me, the other sacred aggressive to proclivity. Take it from me, closing eyes to the plate of thinkability. Take everything from me, the burden with the pain of your sensitivity. Take it from me, the afternoon self-centered viscerosity. Monstrosity, but you're no screen. Obsession while you're hungry will cease. The game you seek, the habit, the reek of arrest. Someone told sweet, someone told some kid. Let it like later, consider the less what to say. Let it roll fast, like it never lasts. No bit last what to say. Persuasion the answer. I must admit I'm only human too. I'm sitting out of a girl, looking out for myself. It's an attitude I know must be true. When a human is given opportunity to watch things mellow, places and towns. Self-infinity is dominant, finish me from deal with the mother and gas. Let's burn! Rack some money, or we're never gonna learn to play. Reciprocation, a just reward. Turning! So you're lacking in the evidence, please know you're so down. We are victims of our own greed. What have we done? Marks is open to fall. These words are lazy ravens. The air stick around. Witness of Mars. This one we have and all our attitudes are fake. Really here to serve our own wealth. The human condition, red giving out takes its own and then turn it self.
Quality, that was really good. It was nice to get back to the metal thrashing mad speed freak of a band this band is, because of course we had the instrumental, which was, you know, it had its moments, but relatively it was about more mid-paced than all. Immigrant Song, little rendition of a Zeppelin cover. It was faster than what we heard by Zeppelin, but it wasn't thrash, or at least it wasn't, you know, this degree of thrash. So it's nice to get back to what I think really makes this band stand out, and that's the aggressive speed, like the full frontal, just ridiculous nature of the energy of this band. let's keep on going. We've got Worms coming up. It's another instrumental. If there's not much to comment on, we'll flow that into the Promise of Agony. All right, let's keep going. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget the rest. Now there's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. This one's entitled Worms, and then we're going to flow that into the Promise of Agony. Did we need 2 instrumentals on this album? Nah, I don't think so. But without further ado, this playthrough is sorry people, I've got a bit of wind here. Devoted to my man Nicky P, I'm calling my man. We're listening to Dark Angel. It was recommended on the Patreon, alright? This is Leave Scars, track number 7. Come on. A little more of a morbid instrumental, perhaps, judging by the intro. A little more of a atmospheric work. Bloody horrible. I mean, it's on brand. This is the sort of instrumental you would expect from a band called Dark Angel, with the album cover like this. Quite frightening, quite horror-esque. But I just want to get to the riffs, man. I just want to get to the riffs. So much so, I'm just going to jump to the Promise of Agony. Come on, this is a reaction right about now. This is my reaction. The Promise of Agony coming up. Let's get to the riffs. I didn't even turn the Ferrero Rocher off. Promise of Agony. Shout out to Jim Durkin, Gene Hoglan, Michael Monarch, Paul Schenker, Bernie Grunman, Earl West, Paul Gordon. Let's jump into this product. Come on.
Google Pixel A.
Google Pixel A. Blah, 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 blah. Bada bing. Here we go. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
wrong, and mistakes are sad, so we ain't gonna make for the suffering. I'm down, you know, that this is it, zoom, and screen, and feel low. Think it's on
Bit noisy this, eh? Bit noisy.
what is the use? It's lots of left to turn. The sins of my past are retreating on my core. The scars I have left, there's nothing left on me. My purpose in life, so that I'm still at one. Not fooling myself, now wait, now there's there. But see me what's there. You know what it's like, still not quit. The future ahead, no place for you, it's in the end, I'm dead. I love myself, I'm glad I died, don't wanna think I should. Just leave me alone, I don't want to help if you need the pain you would. No, you don't even know me. Let's come off that break here. I'm the maximum in a face. Black face bodies, I'm in my fears. Another one for us all, and dream of the thought of this makes you into another world. Crash, I thought myself this over.
I want to make a comment, right? Gene Hoglan is composer and lyricist. I'm just gonna pause this for 1 second to see one thing, right? All right. I just had to do a little bit of background because earlier on in this playthrough, I referenced Gene Hoglan and I just like he's played in other bands, but what bands? So I've actually just went and had a look. He's played in a bunch, right? Strapping young lad and all this and that, but in particular, Death he's played in and Testament, which this guy's played in some good projects, right? And so I can see why he'd be sort of idolized as a great metal drummer because that's how I perceived him. But I had to search just to make this comment. On this record, at least, he doesn't seem like the best drummer of all time. He's not a bad drummer at all, and he plays his part just as he should do, but, you know, there's so many good metal drummers out there. Listening to him on this record doesn't really spark much interest in him as a drummer, in my personal opinion. But I'd say that if I listen to, you know, The Who's first few records, Keith Moon didn't necessarily start to shine, in my opinion, until later on. And when you clocked on to how good he was, you really clocked on to it, right?
Right. twice as the world. Everyone I still believe in God, cause God love leads in me. I lay myself down for a final piece of my death, spirit is free. Agony! I'm stuck in the spin of a need by the promise of agony. And the happiness down is hope that's found of an agony. Can't you understand the one thing a man of agony? And I'm bleeding to die alone.
Quality riff. Decent tune, very good ending. Really good ending, really good ending. It was alright, a few messy parts to be honest with you. Not as composed as we've heard earlier in the record where it just sounds tight as hell. You know, sometimes when it comes to this more traditional sound, sometimes the band can get a bit frantic to the point where they sort of lose composure, and I don't like that. I like it to be tight as nails. But that was an interesting listen, that was the promise of Agony, and if you take one thing from that, it's going to be Agony! Agony! We've got a title track in the last track coming up next. Leave Scars, alright? Yes, now bless. Now don't forget the rest. Now there's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV. Signing in. We're going to finish this record off. Leave Scars. As recommended on the Patreon by my good friend Nick. Thank you, Nick. This is the title track. Leave Scars. Let's jump straight in. Come on. Straight to the point. Sound a bit like Phil Anselmo there. Little.
Never coming to the brain. Said it was a sound of missing days. I know it's only one thing, my authority. After even knowing you don't feel pity. Independent for the life of down for you all. Look at someone to blood, just to the lead star. Promise you, agony, something to breathe. This place that you feel is not the lead to be. I'm turning on the life of the eventually was wrong. If you want to blood, just to the lead star. Mercenary, I'm like, yes, in a feel I'm not. My only need is to me lock. I have a lust of life, stand to be my legacy. Blood saving my life, I'm free. To leave a mark of necessity, my memory team. Suffering not for lack of self-esteem. It's a game, that's contagion. I say this is not some excitation. A cicatrice, but something on your mind. You won't forget my actions, you'll find. I'm Lord and Master of my own cancer.
Little harmonic minor ditty here. Them triplets are tight. Why the hell have I just seen a Dio album released in 2022? What's all that about? That kick is just like having your head rammed against the wall. That's so banging on wall. Nice. One thing this band does well, cadences, resolutions to the record. These past two records, I wonder if they did it on the first as well, I can't remember. Big, ridiculous cadence, big outro to the record. I love it. I think they do that really well, and I love to hear it. It's like big rock star. finish. Really cool. That was Dark Angel, Leave Scars. That was a pretty good listen. I'm going to do one last video. I'm going to give you my final overview of the entire record. I'm going to rate it out of 10 for you, and I'll see you there, alright? Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Just listen to Dark Angel, the third record, entitled Leave Scars. It was recommended by Nick on the Patreon. I've had quite a lot of Dark Angel in my ear over the past couple of days, because I actually did the second album leading up to this one, Darkness Descends, only yesterday. So I've had a lot of high octane, fast, thrash metal by this band pumped into me. Where do I start? We got 9 tracks, 2 instrumentals, 1 cover. I mean, I'm going to start by criticising the record. I'd get rid of the cover. Immigrant Song was unneeded. They didn't do a good job of the cover. And nobody can do a good job of the cover at all. Nobody can cover Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song. It's pointless to cover. No one can cover it. The shoes are too big to fill. Instrumentals I could do without. Worms, could get rid of that as well. I could make this a 7-track record just as Darkness Descends by removing Worms and Immigrant Song. That would have worked out better. That would have optimized the record for me, I think. This album's longer than Darkness Descends. Probably looking at about 40 minutes worth of material. Averaging out around, call it 5 minutes 30 a track, I'd say. So a lot of long material. You know what, I'd say averaging out about 6 minutes 30 actually. I take that back. First 2 songs are relatively short, and then from there we're just, you know, every actual tune is like quite long from there on. Over 7 minutes. The production was good. I really liked the production. I felt it had a better sound than the album prior. Instrumentally speaking, I felt we were somewhat on the same level. You know, we hadn't really pushed the ball out as much as we could have moving from album to album, but that's because Dark Angel do what they do very well. I think this band is all about the speed. When they're hitting that high octane, just full speed ahead, ruthless, aggressive tempo, that's the incredible part of this band. That's the selling point of this band. And we get quite a lot of that. The production was good because we could hear the guitars in full quality and full clarity. Bass guitar, I didn't pick up on too much, in all honesty. Didn't really pick up on it too much. Drumming, you heard of it quite a lot. In the last record, it was sort of like really, really drum orientated as far as the production is concerned, but here we have a little more of a leveled out production value. The vocal line's good. It feels as if we are building a bridge from traditional style of thrash into more modern thrash on this record. A lot of it might be down to the production. The guitar tone a little bit more saturated in distortion than the grittier, tighter composition of tone that we've had prior. Couple of choruses on here, which was good. I enjoyed the incorporation of a chorus. You can't go wrong, can you? Not many mid-tempo punk riffs. Not the most punk of band. Although tempo-wise, when they hit the fast bits, arguably you could say that was quite punk infused, just due to the intensity of it. I said during my listen through, when it came to the fast bits, I would controversially, I would definitely say controversially, consider this an extreme metal band, because the fasts are extreme. Kick drum on this, very oomph, 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 as opposed to the uk, uk, uk. Do you know, a lot of fluffy low end, as opposed to like a more in-your-face pop. And I don't mind that. I think it worked for this record. When the guitars went into the lower register, you just heard that low end. A lot of space, a lot of consumed. Not necessarily muddy. I wouldn't call it muddiness. but you could hear it all come together. I forgot what I rated Darkness Descends, the second album by this band. I did really enjoy it. I think I gave it an 8, to be honest with you. I'll give this one... Fuck. I'd say I'd give it 1 point less, but... Oh man, this is hard. This is tough. This is tough. Because the music was good, but the two instrumentals and Immigrant Song really, really devalued this record for me. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs. It might as well have been an EP. Well, each to their own. Depends what you classify EP as, you know. I'm not being literal there. But 6 songs. I'd remove Worms. I'd remove Immigrant Song. I'd remove Cauterization. I'd just rid of it. No instrumentals. There's no need. And no cover because it was rubbish. I'm going to give it... Oh, fuck. Respectfully, because of that, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. This would be on par with Darkness Descends, given there weren't that fluff in the record. And it's each to their own, because people like instrumentals. That's a thing. Showcase your, you know, your craft, your musicianship. Why not? We're a metal band. We're good at what we do. People like that. Consumers like that. Me, I don't. I don't want to hear that. Get to the vocal line. Let me emotionally connect with a frontman. That's what I like. So as opposed to looking at the positives, unfortunately, I'm looking at the negatives, because the middle section is composed of negative for me. On a good note, I like the artwork. And on that note, I'm signing out, people. I'll see you on the flip side. One love.